Whether we love them or not, one of the most amazing things about cats is how they seem to show up in our lives when we least expect it, and when we need them the most. And should that opportunity arise, it can feel like a sign. That seemed to be the situation that Connor Manning found himself in recently. He had just gone through a difficult breakup when a cat wandered up to him out of nowhere. What initially seemed like a coincidence ended up leading him on a serendipitous and unusual journey. Connor Manning was going through a bit of a rough patch when his night began on September 5th, 2017. The Los Angeles resident had recently broken up with his significant other, and he wasn't in the best of moods, to say the least. Of course, anyone who's ever experienced a breakup can tell you how difficult it is to feel normal again. Most of the time, they're left feeling unbearably sad. Something that once seemed so comfortable and happy is suddenly gone. Yet while Connor was walking home shortly after the big split, something unusual happened. Seemingly out of nowhere, an adorable cat rushed right up to him. Connor noticed right away that she was terribly skinny and covered in dirt and fleas. The cat had clearly been struggling to survive on the streets. Still, she was so cute that Connor couldn't resist stopping to pet her. At that moment, the cat must have gotten excited because she jumped right onto his knee. Connor happened to be a YouTuber with thousands of followers, and he had the good sense to document his experience as it was happening. That was when something amazing happened. The cat started following him. It was cute at first, but also a bit nerve-wracking. After about 5 minutes, I started getting up to head home, and she was super scared, Connor said later. So I crouched down and she ran right over to me again. This cycle continued for 5 blocks before Connor finally approached his front porch. He allowed the kitty to spend a little bit of time inside his house, but then it quickly became clear that she preferred his porch instead. On Twitter, Connor didn't hold back how enamored he was with the cat, whom he'd named Socks. Socks doesn't want to hang out inside, and I'm chill with that, he wrote. She can do whatever she wants, and I'll feed her if she wants to hang out. While he enjoyed spending time with Socks, Connor had made plans with a friend. So before he left his home, he provided the kitty with some food, a bed, and a box to play in. He hoped that with these comforts, she'd still be there by the time he returned. So it was no surprise that Connor became worried when he eventually came home to discover that Socks was missing. While she wasn't his pet, and she was certainly free to leave, he hoped that he'd be able to see her again. Where'd she go? Thankfully, in the early hours of the morning, Connor heard a strange sound outside that resembled a muffled meowing. He followed the noise until he discovered Socks once again, this time staring at him through a window. Not only that, but Socks made it clear that she wanted to spend more time with Connor in his home. The young man was happy to oblige, so he bought some food and started looking into the details of cat ownership. I have no idea, but she loves me, Connor said jokingly. And like any good pet owner, he brought her to the veterinarian. It was there that he learned she was roughly 6 months old and, as he assumed, was stray. This also came with the unfortunate news. Connor was looking forward to adopting Socks, as she wasn't chipped, but it wasn't long before he remembered that he was highly allergic to cats. In fact, Connor's family had no choice but to give up a cat when he was a small child due to his affliction. His allergies were so bad that his throat closed up during his first trip home from the vet with Socks, so he had little choice but to find another home for her. Luckily, Connor already had a platform to get the word out about the kitty in need. Know anyone in LA who wants the sweetest and kindest baby cat on the planet? He tweeted to his followers. Just a day later, Connor received a response from one of his co-workers who was interested in potentially adopting Socks. Still, Connor wanted to ensure that his last moments with the cat were special. In time, it started to become abundantly clear that letting go of Socks would be more difficult than Connor thought. He'd made a special connection with her after all, and apparently the feelings were mutual for the cat. He just had to find a solution for his allergies. Who would have known that the solution to Connor's woe would be as simple as medication? After a few days of having allergy medicine in my system, I started feeling fine, he reported happily. Today, Socks still lives with Connor, and by all accounts, everything is working out beautifully. Watching her go from a bone-thin lethargic baby covered in fleas into this little pounce machine has been so rewarding, he said. What a match. Despite a few bumps in the road, Connor and Socks seem perfect for each other. Here's hoping they have many more years together.